Good morning everyone, welcome back to the Hearthstone ladder. My name is Rooster and we are taking 30 different decks every month to the ladder. And this time it's the turn for Cthulhu Priest. This is a deck I have seen played at the championship for Asia, which was last weekend. And I was kind of curious because, well, first of all, it's the only priest deck that was played, and on the Europe tournament the week before that, no priests at all were played. So I was thinking, what could be up with a deck like that? So I gotta try it out. Tried it on the ladder just a little bit before this, and it looks to be decently effective against most of the decks in the meta. It can't possibly beat Control Warrior. So the moment you see a shield slam, just press the concede button and yeah, that's just not gonna happen.
Greetings.
Curious thing, there were 2 forbidden shapings in the deck list. I only have one of those. I'm not crafting any priest cards anytime soon, but might as well give it a try. I think I have replaced it with an additional Holy Nova, just to capitalize on what the deck is already good at, being beating up aggro decks. So it should have a really good matchup against 2. Should have a really good matchup against aggro Shaman. Midrange Hunter should be decent, even though we don't have any entombs. We have a ton of removal.
Greetings.
So yeah, should have a pretty good time against everything except other control decks. So I feel reasonably confident in that. And we might as well give it a little bit of a try. This looks like a weak start for now, but if our opponent did have a totem golem or something, then that would have been a lot better for us. For now we're just healing up, and a lot of games might end up this way. See toteming again? That seems a little ridiculous. No, that can't possibly be right. He coined out a totem though, that's really curious. In what kind of Shaman deck would it be correct to coin out a totem? I'm assuming he knows what he's doing because he's rank 4 with the deck, but the same could be said for me, and I have no clue what I'm doing with this deck. So maybe take that with a little grain of salt. That thing needs to die though. I will spend Shadow Earth's Pain on that one, I think. A little unfortunate, but we can start doing some stuff starting next turn, or perhaps a little later if necessary. Looks like a slow mid-range Shaman deck, perhaps even a control Shaman actually. I've been seeing a lot more of those as of late. Kind of interesting. So the main strength of the deck is of course a lot of healing, especially with the Twilight Darkmenders, who are working excellently. Kind of similar purpose to the Ancient Shield Bearer, with of course the caveat that you can't heal above your maximum health total, but also the advantage of a much more competitive body, and well, you'll beat your opponent down if they can't deal with a 6/5. It's a very reasonable clock on its own, so it does need to be dealt with. What is our opponent doing here? I don't exactly know. How's my sound, by the way? It's a little soft for me, but should be fine for you, I think. What's our opponent doing here? Is he just gone? Well, I suppose he can be gone for quite a few turns before I'll kill him, so I guess I can't really blame him, because next turn is likely to just be pass, unless I top deck a decent minion. Oh, that could work. I could see that work on the current board, why not? Why not? Okay, well, that's not a glowing introduction to the deck. I'm going to cut out right here, if this is all this match is going to be.
Greetings, friend.
Greetings.
You wanna come back?
The elements will. There is little time.
We can have a real game here. We can actually have a real game here. That's okay. Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do here. He's burned a few cards, but we can actually still give him a chance. Not sure. Yeah, so it's a control shaman thing. Not a Reno shaman. Not that I would expect that necessarily, but okay, we can do some stuff. That's fine. Let's see what we do here. We just drop some minions, right? I'm pretty sure we just dropped some minions. We could drop something big with forbidden shaping. I think I kind of like that. Oh, that's a card. That's certainly a card. I don't mind that too much. Pretty much has to hex that, so that's nice. Yeah. Okay, so I will have cut out a couple of those turns where our opponent did absolutely nothing, but that's not entirely unreasonable here. Okay, he still has a chance, so I think that's courtesy. That's okay. How do we deal with this board properly? It's kind of rough. There's a lot of 3 health stuff out here. We can Holy Nova, I guess. Just no, we don't want to draw a couple cards actually.
Right away.
So we might just do it this way. Let's sacrifice this one, Holy Nova, and then Cthulhu, Cthulhu, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu!
We've got enough cards here. I'm sure Control Shaman. What finishers would Control Shaman run? Well, besides fire elementals, I guess. I guess those are real cards. So pretty much Shadow or Death, I guess. And then Twin Emperors. Actually, I kind of like Cthulhu's Chosen on this board. Don't have to commit the Emperors yet. Kind of wary about running those into elemental destruction. Yeah, that seems like a good trade for me, unless he has an answer. Not a lot of clear answers for the Cthulhu's Chosen, actually. So I kind of like that. Do we have an answer to that thing, though? That is mildly concerning. Does not have a taunt totem, though, so... Oh, could be a thing from below here. No thing from below, that's good for us. Okay, so we can just kill that thing. Do we... Let me think. I guess we can... I guess we can do it this way, right? I kind of like that.
Embrace the void. I obey.
Kind of like doing it this way. Protect this one from lightning storm. Sure.
Did you bring some fish?
Oh, that's a decent one. Okay, so what else do we expect here? There's definitely a second hex in there somewhere. You better have a thing from below here or something.
Totems, I love.
Because that Flame Tongue is not long for this world. I guess he'll have some minions to attack with, so that's something, but definitely not too exciting. Just kill most of it and play a taunt, right? That lets me kill the Totem Carver next turn, so that's pretty good. Might run into Elemental Destruction again, but that would still leave me with at least one Emperor, I think, and... I'm a little curious. So unless he kills the Soul Priest, we can easily take out the 6-2. So that's good. And other than that... Oh, another Flame Tongue. Well, is he just throwing in the towel here? I don't know about that. I'm guessing he kind of is.
So much pain.
no time for games.
I kind of feel like he's given up at this point. Just throwing away the flame tongues like that, I don't know. I don't know about that. So does Cthulhu kill him next turn? I think he does, unless this... Still does, right? I think it still does. We have 14, so that means 17... We need to deal 1 more damage. Honestly. We're just 1 damage short here.
Feel my pain.
Well, that's kind of ugly.
Feel my
Nothing we can do about that? Not
Let
really.
none survive.
I guess we just kill him with Cthulhu next turn, right? I guess that works. Whatever. Should be fine. Pretty much, well, we could flood the board again, but we still have a Soul Priest to deal with some things, so... There's some stuff coming out again. Okay, okay. Well, I guess he's not dead. That doesn't even deal with the board properly. That's actually kind of troublesome. Let's see what we... Oh, that's a good one. That is actually a rather good one. Because I think Cthulhu finishes the job now. Yep, he does.
Well played.
Alright.
The elements will destroy you.
Yeah, you can't blame me for giving you a chance, pal. Well, at least we won that game, and I think we would have made a decent chance. Of course, you can't really get a grip on how the game would have progressed if your opponent would have been online the whole time, but I felt like giving him a chance. That is. I hope people don't see that as toying with your food or something. But yeah.
Victory or death!
I can imagine him being a little pissed. If this is a control warrior, then we are SOL, basically. So let's be aware of that. I don't mind keeping the Cthulhu's Chosen against a warrior. It's actually decent. It requires two half guards at the very least, instead of just 1 half guard like the Beckoner of Evil. Getting the Cthulhu buffs out on time is also quite relevant, actually. So let's see. The main problem against Control Warrior is this deck lacks the usual late game cards
Greetings.
that a Control Priest would have, such as Entomb, Museum Curator, N'Zoth, Elise Starseeker. So against a Control Warrior, you're in a bit of trouble. He has a lot of answers to whatever you're doing, and you don't have a lot of answers to whatever he's doing. So that's, yeah, doesn't feel good. Feels kind of powerless. I battled a Control Warrior a bit earlier, and it was just hero powering up because my hand was full of answers, and his hand was full of answers. So you're just hero powering, and you're throwing out a card to prevent yourself from discarding. But you're not really doing anything. That's the main problem. You could slam this, and that would be fine. That's half a card's worth. Or perhaps... Okay, well that's risky. Shadow Word Pain would be pretty good here, if I had it, of course. Let's at least Powered Shield, and we could draw into a Pain. We're running 2 of those. Not drawing any of them does feel kind of bad. We could slam into it here. I guess we can let him do that. That's going to be the better option for us. If he has a ghoul or something, then he could bring it down to 1 health. He could have a 5/1 on the field. We can probably do some things with the Pyromancer in that case. So it's not too horrible. This could still be Tempo Warrior, in which case we have a chance. I'm not saying we have a good chance, but against Tempo Warrior we could have a somewhat decent chance. Yeah, so a Revenge will bring his guy down to 5/1. Okay, I'm expecting Control Warrior here. so not... Yeah, you're late. You're late, sir. That's really unfortunate. I guess we can kill it next turn with the Eye, that's fine. We're just taking some damage. We could have healed... No, we couldn't have healed it out of range. That would require 2 heals. We could Circle of Healing and then steal it, I guess. Yeah, so maybe I should have healed it last turn. I'm not the biggest fan of that, though. We could actually Excavated Evil this. No, that's actually also bad in a control matchup, right? So I guess we'll do it this way. Stealing that would have been a lot better. Because that's almost exactly the card you want to steal. So if I had healed it last turn, then I could have Circle of Healing and Cabal Shadow Priested it. And yes, that is a verb nowadays. We could play Twin Emperor and hope to ride that to victory. If he has a Gorehowl, we don't really have an answer to that either. So this deck basically just gives up the Control Warrior matchup in favor of the other ones, and I guess that's what Priest is pretty good at, actually. Priest has a lot of very, very decent answers that are perhaps a bit... You guys are so loud. So Priest's answers are perhaps a bit specific. So you can really tech your deck out to beat certain decks, and then you really lose against some other decks. Warrior might have a little bit of trouble dealing with this. As long as we don't add another minion, then Brawl is not really that great. We don't have Entomb, so this is actually a really good answer, even if he doesn't know it. That's actually really unfortunate. We may have to slam both of them into Sylvanas here. Because we can't really have one of them stolen, can we? We'll just slam both of them in there. Then Cthulhu, one of them down, and then heal the other, I guess. I don't like where this is going, but it is a way to deal with it. And I guess that's somewhat okay, at least. Fire Borax does take down the other Emperor, but considering the other options, that is actually a decent way to deal with that, so I'm not terribly unhappy. And at least we don't have to deal with Sylvanas later. So executes that one. Well, we don't have too many other big minions, so that is actually pretty decent. No Shadow Word Death in hand, even. Oh, well, talking about the devil. Do we death that? Or do we have any other options? We could use our second Eye, but that's a little unfortunate. I guess we'll just do it this way. Now we've got Cthulhu next turn, so if he does nothing, we can shred his armor, and that could actually be somewhat nice. That is kind of our trump card, though, so not sure I'm the biggest fan of that. Only shield slams for... because Cthulhu does kill that, which is not... it's not horrible. It's a better alternative than to Circle of Healing it, I guess. I guess help Cthulhu. It's a very decent chance of actually clearing the Harrison, so I'm not too afraid of that. And it shreds enough armor that he can't immediately shield slam down the Cthulhu. So that's okay. If I can get a hit in with this Cthulhu, then we are actually in a pretty good spot. But I don't expect we will. He would have to have the second execute though, so that means he's out of executes. That is something worthwhile. So we can start beating him down with 6/5s or something. That might be our path to victory. We just need to draw the 6/5s. That's kind of a problem. Do we just... He does have Blood of Braves in his deck, and I would really like to steal one. So I think I'm keeping this around for now. But the long game doesn't look too pretty for us, so I may be wrong here. I'm just hoping the 6/5s can do some work. Because he's kind of out of answers. He has one shield slam left, I think. I think I will Shadow Word Pain that. If I draw a decent minion. That seems decent.
I feast upon the light.
Well met.
And that does qualify as a decent minion. It demands an answer, and he might not have a decent answer, so if we can start hitting him for 8 a turn, then that would be pretty sweet. If he gets a Gora Howl, that would be kind of unfortunate, I will admit. What is that? Okay, well, we'll paint that again, I guess? He's kind of throwing away cards, which is good. I don't mind him throwing away cards. Yeah? It's kind of not enough pressure, but it'll have to do. It'll have to do for now. At least for shredding his armor, so even if he draws his shield slam next turn, then it wouldn't be a problem. Now that's pretty good. Is he enraging it now though? He is enraging it. I can heal it up though. So that's okay. Do I have an answer for this thing though? No. So I may actually have to kill that. Wait, we have a taunt, so we shouldn't need to worry, right? Okay, so let me heal this, steal it.
Change your mind.
And I'm pretty sure I'm just hitting face here. Yeah. So he can brawl this, and that would still kind of suck, but at least it spends a brawl. If he didn't have a brawl here, we would be in a pretty good spot. That is a good brawl for us, I think. Yeah, that is a pretty good brawl. Elise? How do we deal with Elise? There's a question. I guess we just beat it up. We just beat her up, right? We can draw some cards. We're not winning the late game anyway, so might as well. Do we want to draw 2? I think so. We could even draw a lot more. I'm not sure how good it is. I think drawing 2 for now is going to be good enough, and we can consider drawing more later. I think we pretty much just have to flood now and hope he doesn't have the second brawl. That's pretty much going to be our avenue to success, I think. So we can take down the 5/5, but it would involve either a card from his hand or sacrificing both the Elise and the Fiery War Axe, which is good. And then we're hoping to draw into the second... I guess we can draw into our Sylvanas or the second Twilight. Second Dark Mender, I guess that's what it's called. Doesn't have any good cards right now, okay. Second Dark Mender is pretty good. That is a real threat on the board. Could also add a Pyromancer, because he doesn't appear to have a great answer here. Is that too greedy? It is pretty greedy, I'll admit, but how much does that speed up our clock? We have 12 now, and so we basically have 10. That doesn't really speed up our clock. He's going to have an answer eventually, so I guess we'll do it this way. This clock is quick enough. We can kill him in 2 turns this way. That is not exactly what I was hoping for, I guess. We can steal one of them. Do I want to take a random? Do I want to take a random one? I guess I do. I can kill the other one. I can always kill the other one, right? And I can maybe have a decent chance at giving him a priest. So that's okay. I would prefer the Sylvanas, but I guess I'll just smash his face in at this point. No, he needs to have that second brawl, or he's pretty much dead, right? Or he needs to slam the 5/5 into the 6/5 and then steal the 5/7, I guess. That's 2 options. So he needs to draw his brawl. Or what is that? Shield slams that. Well, then brawl doesn't save him anymore. Shield slam doesn't save him. Well, that's another card. Sylvanas still gets to attack, but Alkanai still kills him. Oh, that's brave. Yeah, I guess that's game.
Well,
Wow, I did not expect to ever win against a Control Warrior. So there's something. I thought this deck was absolutely hopeless. so I'm pleasantly surprised here. And that goes to show why you shouldn't just concede when you see the first Shield Slam. But hope and pray that they don't have the second Brawl or the second Shield Slam, I guess. Yeah, and then 6/5s can still do the job. It's basically a Tempo Reno Jackson, only for 1 mana cheaper and with 2 more attacks. So that's actually pretty relevant. Reno is a really good card if you're facing aggro decks, but sometimes you just have to play him on 6 and beat your opponent to death with it. Against the Warrior, let's hope it's not Control Warrior again. First of all, is Okanai a card you keep against? I guess it is a card we want to keep, right? Would like some more early game against a possible Pirate or Dragon Warrior. Yeah, I guess I'll mulligan that one away. I don't particularly like it, but a little more early game would be preferable. Okay, so let's see what we're up against.
Greetings.
Do we just play Beckoner? I guess we just play Beckoner. If he doesn't have Axe, then that's actually pretty good for us. And sometimes Warriors don't have Axe. It's not often do you see a Warrior that doesn't have it, but sometimes they don't, and then you're in a pretty good spot. At least we know that the second one is not worth playing now, so there's something. We're making progress here. I don't think playing a random 3-cost minion is going to survive the Axe all that often. There's a few 2/5s and a few 3/4s or 2/4s, but they're the minority. Any 4/3, any 3/3, it's not going to be too good for us, so a random 4-cost minion might be worth it, actually. And I do think if we're up against Control Warrior again, that we do need to take the initiative here. Oh, that's actually really funny. That is actually really funny. That could be pretty good, actually. I don't hate it. Let's see what comes out here. He might be forced to Shield Slam that. That's hilarious. Because that's going to be way too annoying for him to deal with. That is so funny. Okay, we can double Pyromancer here. Is that horrible? That actually seems correct to me. It contests the Acolyte. We don't want him to draw too many cards. It eats an X charge and requires another answer. I guess it's fine. Pyromancer is a really crappy card against Warrior anyway, so if this gets some amount of value right here, then I would be okay with it. Warriors kind of have to keep in mind that you might be running Entomb, so they should be really careful with their high-end minions. That is one advantage that we have here. If he slams that, that means he's not drawing a card with it. So I guess we did get a card from him, and we did get the second charge from the War Axe. So that's like 1.5 card for our 2 Pyromancers, which aren't too good in the matchup. I think I'm okay with that. That is a second card for him from the Acolyte, so that's a little unfortunate, but that means Cthulhu can take down. We can take the risk of him drawing an extra card and just double Cthulhu here. How's that? Double Cthulhu is really weak to the second Ghoul, and to Revenge, I guess. So that probably means we shouldn't, right? So do we single Cthulhu and then... Servant? I don't really like the Servant here. I guess we just do this and heal up. If he slams the Ghoul into the 2-1, then we can finish the other one off with the second Disciple, so that's not awful. More airplanes. I've never heard so many airplanes in a few days. It's kind of ridiculous. So second Cthulhu can take care of that. We could Holy Nova and then Cthulhu next turn. I'm just calling him Cthulhu, but that's his name, right? Cthulhu. That's how it works. Could play Sylvanas here, which would probably get some amount of value. It's not terrible. We're taking some damage, but it is the thing that is best against the current board. It will halt his progress for a bit. I think I'm okay with that. If he plays his own Sylvanas, he cannot Shield Slam it right away. It's kind of the thing you should be worried about. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. We could actually save our Sylvanas and steal his Cthulhu. That would be... I don't know, it's not as good as it seems. You really want to entomb his Cthulhu, but we're not running that card, so... that would be pretty good, because having 2 Cthulhus in a Cthulhu deck is actually pretty ridiculous. But this does a decent job at contesting the board, so I'm reasonably happy with that. Even if he... I guess Revenge would be his best answer right now, but that still eats like 2.5 cards. And getting that much value out of a Sylvanas is okay. Well, at the moment he's in board control, and he has card advantage, so we need to get one or the other back, and I guess this does one or the other. If he's training here, he's giving us the 4-2, and I would be fine with that. He can get some free face damage in, actually. Or we can Holy Nova here. Don't like that too much. I kind of want to steal something, but I guess that does give us board control, right? So that forces him to deal with stuff. And we can even heal up Sylvanas afterwards, so he can't immediately execute it. Also deals 7 damage to face. He can still armor up and shield slam. That is a little unfortunate. I guess there's not much we can do about that, though. Not much we can do about that, but this is a decent Holy Nova, and I probably should take it. Forces him to actually use the Shield Slam too, so that's something. Do we even want to heal up to Sylvanas in that case? I guess we kind of do.
Let none survive.
If he armors up and Shield Slams, then he's not really developing the board that much. So that is another upside. Revenge and Execute. That is 2 cards to deal with Sylvanas again, so we got a Holy Nova for 2 cards and a Sylvanas for 2 cards. Holy Nova for 1.5 card, actually, but as long as we keep trading one of our cards for more than one of his, then we're in an okay spot, I think. Let's see if we draw something meaningful first. Giving something to 5 health is actually kind of important. And getting this down, it's never going to be much better than now. And I think he would have Shield Slammed if he had it, so that's okay. Maybe he's saving a Shield Slam for the... No, you can't save Shield Slam for Cthulhu. You have to save an Activator and an Execute for when I play Cthulhu. So I don't think he has Shield Slam, which means he doesn't have a great answer against the 6-5 right now. So that's pretty good for us. Yay. Next turn, we could Okanai Disciple. No, that's way too greedy. I think we're just trading the 6-5 in, and if he wants to execute it, then that's fine. What does a Cthulhu warrior play that we would be interested in stealing? There's another great question. I don't know. We want to draw some cards, though. That I know for sure. Oh, and that's not bad. We'll play that after the first brawl, I think. We'll leave it at this. This is very brawlable. It's if the 6-4 survives, that's really unfortunate for him, though. So I'm not sure whether he wants to take the risk. That makes the brawl not very good, actually, because the only thing he's eliminating if the 6-4 dies is a 2-5 and a 1-3. That is not exactly worth a brawl. But he can't just leave the 6-4 alive, because it will keep his armor down, make it impossible for him to deal with our Cthulhu. So yeah. It's not the worst spot, actually. Doesn't seem as bad as it as it would be at first glance.
I wonder.
Let's see, what do you got? What do you got? The Cthulhu Warrior deck would have Emperor. Oh, Emperor... Emperor's not that good right now, actually. Because we can actually deal with that. Is that a double Cthulhu? Or...
Feast of souls.
okay. That dealt enough damage... Oh, it buffed Cthulhu enough for him to play 2. That's kind of the thing. So we can steal the 2-1. I kinda don't want to do that. We can not easily deal with the second one. We could heal up, but that's not going to do all that much.
I wonder.
So we could Cthulhu plus this hero power for 1. And then trade the cleric for the other one. That leaves us with 1 mana left over. Is that okay? That is probably fine. That is probably fine. I would have liked to have a circle of healing here, I think. Not sure how good that is, actually. No. This is a really bad board against Ghoul. That is a little worrisome. And on a bad board against Brawl also. But I guess it'll have to do. Bad board against Cthulhu. Do we have an answer against Cthulhu? We don't. So we need to draw into that. I wouldn't mind if he killed our Arcanine here. That's okay. But Ghoul would still be bad. Yep. We need to draw some cards, and the Ghoul isn't letting us. I don't think there was a better answer for the board last turn, though. Let's see. Do we paint that? We paint that, and then Darkmender. I guess Darkmender is pretty safe. He just used the Shield Slam, and he didn't have one before. So I guess it's Pain and Darkmender. Sure. But the healing from the Darkmender is never going to be relevant in this matchup. So... yeah. Did we actually face an aggro deck with this yet? Because that's what it's supposed to be good against. You know, we're playing as a control shaman and 2 control warriors. Or did we have something in between?
That was a mistake.
I don't recall. I've short-term memory and everything. That is not the card we're looking for right now. And that is a lot of health. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. These cards do nothing. I'm expecting him to trade in here, so... And if he has a better answer than to trade in, then we're not in a good spot regardless, right? Nothing to steal. I would really like to see a Bloodhoof Brave here. Wouldn't you know? That would actually be pretty good. That would allow us to slightly crawl back. We haven't seen any brawls yet, didn't we? And we're starting to run out of threats. We've used our Sylvanas. We need our Emperors and our Cthulhu, I guess. Emperors and Cthulhu, and that's basically our threats gone. Besides the Cabal, I guess. If the Cabal can actually steal something, that would be decent. He's ahead of us in deck, but we will be drawing into more cards because he's ahead of us in cards. So that's not where we want to be. He's passing though. I guess that means he has a lot of answers, but let's see what his answer to Cthulhu is. Because this does get rid of a lot of his armor. So he doesn't have an easy Shield Slam at least. So he has to use another 2 cards here. Or perhaps he doesn't have a great answer, and that's pretty good for us.
I have no time for games.
Sylvanas, and can't Shield Slam his own Sylvanas. So he would have to Brawl? Sylvanas Coin Brawl? That could work, that could work. We don't have an answer to Cthulhu, so... best situation would be the other way around, I think. Because Sylvanas we can actually deal with, and this we cannot. So I guess that's game.
Greetings. You have bested me.
There's no point in playing out this game. We have basically no threats left, and he has a lot. And a lot of armor. So we're not playing a fatigue game either. I would rather get another game in, because I doubt we've actually had a decent matchup here. Or even a decent game. Well, we've had 2 decent games. Both of the Control Warriors were actually decent games, but oh please!
Victory or death!
I am not interested in another Cthulhu or whatever kind of Control Warrior. Early minions good, early cleric not good, pyromancer probably bad unless it's pirate-y warrior. I guess we could take that risk, and an early 3-2, it at least forces out some kind of answer. If a little suboptimal, it is actually a card that's has to be dealt with, so it's something.
Greetings.
We are not going out a 2 because we don't have a 3. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, Pyromancer demands an answer. So if he has to play Axe here, then that's gonna be the way it is. And sometimes they don't, and you actually get to trade a card for a card, which is not bad. That also means that he's unlikely to have a decent answer against this one. So let's see if that works. Well, we also have the requisite Cthulhu buffs in hand, so that could be good. If he doesn't have an Axe, that's actually pretty good for us, because we can actually get some early damage in with our minions then. Also, getting a health buff out on the 4-4 here is pretty meaningful. And Doomsayers are definitely worth Shadowward Painting here, so I'm definitely not upset about that at all. Let's see how he deals with this. Because this is actually a really awkward thing right now. Yeah, it gets to trade with the ghoul, and then I get to heal it up. That's still pretty good. The ghoul is good at dealing with Divine Shields, though, no doubt. But this is still a fine trade in my book. And I don't see particular need of using the Forbidden Shaping here. I guess the Forbidden Shaping against Control decks should, bar extraordinary circumstances, only be used at 8 mana. Just to have some additional threats in your deck. I guess we didn't cast that last game, did we? I guess we haven't. We have nothing good to play here, though. So that's a little unfortunate. We could actually Cthulhu face so we can Emperor next turn. Is that ridiculous? We could Forbidden Shaping on 6, which is not terrible, but I would really like to save it until 8. I guess we can. That is a little strange, and he probably knows what's up now. But I think this is worth it, because we've got a decent curve coming up. The Emperors are not terrible. Well, yeah, they're not very good against the Kodo either. This is actually interesting. It might be a Reno deck. Because I don't think Kodo is very common in normal control lists. Let's see what his answer is. Ooh, that card is painful. That card is painful. That's the main reason why I thought Control Warrior was a bad matchup. To be honest there. So do we really need to get rid of that? So we can actually do this, which is not terrible, but we still have to deal with the Kodo then. We don't have a good way to deal with the Kodo right now, except slamming this in, and in that case, well, in that case he might as well exit, right? We could still slam that in, but if we don't heal it, then he could just trade back, which is also bad. I guess we're shaping for 8. That may be exactly the card we need right now. Is it? Well, not exactly, but it's still pretty good.
Quickly.
Let me think. I don't care about this at all. Let's do it this way. I guess the Divine Shield would have been pretty good, but this is still a decent threat. It's not awful, and it lets us deal with the Kodo, and it makes the Gorehowl actually a little awkward. And that allows us to bring the Twin Emperor out of range if he doesn't kill it right now. Because we can totally heal that out of range of Gorehowl next turn. So that is actually pretty reasonable. But yeah, Gorehowl gets him so many cards. It's ridiculous. It's one of the reasons. Maybe I should have replaced the Holy Nova or the second Forbidden Shaping with the Harrison to slightly
Do you have
better this matchup. It's actually not the worst idea. I've had worse ideas, even today. For example, playing Cthulhu Priest. I mean, who plays Cthulhu Priest anyway? So we get to heal. I guess we're just doing it this way, right? Kind of want to get rid of this Elise here. Oh, that also works. Is that better than? That is better than losing. Than possibly losing the Alkanai. I think the Alkanai is actually kind of important. So let's do it this way. Heal up this one, play another minion, and we'll see how this goes. He still has to Gorehowl that down, so that's kind of acceptable. And then Cthulhu next turn is actually kind of a problem. I don't expect him to roll this, but no, that's actually kind of impossible. He should have a second ghoul or something. Oh, well, I don't know how to feel about that. I did actually make a play a bit earlier where I stole an opponent's Doomsayer to steal his next turn, but I don't think that's particularly correct if you're not both at 9 cards. So if you play your 10th card and you steal a Doomsayer and your opponent also has 9 cards in hand and he draws a card and you can't play a card because it will die to the Doomsayer, so that actually kind of makes sense. But in this context I would have to Holy Nova and Alkanai Hero Power, which I can't, or I have to Cthulhu, which is actually a decent play. Let's play the Cthulhu, let's see how the Doomsayer deals. It seems the Doomsayer dies. Doomsayer dies. You get to deal a reasonable amount of damage here. And he has to deal with the Cthulhu now, which he would need an Activator and an Execute for. Or a Brawl, I guess. If his best answer is Brawl, then that's actually a real risk. We can steal that. Or he Revenges and then I heal and steal. He executes that. Alright. And he attacks the 2-2. I can still heal and steal. That's okay. Heal and steal seems reasonable. It's also a great name for a music album, I would say. I even get to draw a card with it. That's pretty nice. That is actually pretty nice.
Let me change your mind.
Let's see you deal with this. He's actually getting rather low, so that is not too bad for us. A Brawl could, and well, only if the Cleric survives really, because Brawl is still not that great for him. Because he would need an additional answer to whatever survives, and he doesn't have a whole lot of answers. So that's mostly a good situation against the warrior, and where he doesn't have any answers, so he doesn't have an easy answer to... What is he doing? Oh, Ganon, okay. Ganon is a card. We still have 4, so... I guess Holy Nova kind of makes sense here. We could Holy Nova, heal... If we Holy Nova, this heals to... Yes?
I wonder.
I'm thinking about Holy Nova, Alkanai Circle. We could even draw some cards with the Holy... Well, we could draw one card with the Holy Nova. That's actually not that awesome. But making use of the Arcanine Soul Priest is really nice, I think. So if we do... Oh, we definitely don't want to do that first. I think that's going to be the play. It is a little... Oh wait, we can't heal. We can't heal if we do that. Well, I guess this dies. That's okay. So we do this. So in that case, we circle, that kills the Geddon. It's a little awkward, I'll admit, but if he has to hit into the Soul Priest, then it's still pretty good for us. And we could, well, we do have a Flesh Healer and an Arcanine left, so that's actually not all that great. Maybe I should have left again and alive, and I'm too afraid of that thing, but if he hits this, he's awfully low. He can armor up, but he dies to Arcanine Flesh Heal. That is not a position you want to be in as a warrior. That is an awkward card, though. I don't like that. Nope, that's a decent answer, though. So I like what I'm seeing here.
I feast upon.
Do I play the cleric? I don't think I play the cleric. Cleric can deal 1 damage. That's not really what we're looking for. So does he have an answer here? He's got some cards. Slams it, right? Slams into Fiery War Axe, doesn't do the trick. Could slam into Bash. Oh, there's a card, alright. That's not what we want to see either. Alright, that's one part. Oh, we could actually circle. That's probably the play, right? It's really greedy. If this doesn't work, then we're kind of screwed, but he's low on cards. We have a cleric to possibly draw some extras later. We could actually heal. No, then we can't kill it afterwards. No, that doesn't work. We can both draw a card off of it. Okay, let's guess. Even 1 damage is relevant now, isn't it? Yeah, I guess even 1 damage is relevant now. I don't like throwing the cleric out there, but I think every damage counts right now. So if he hits into that thing, then 1 damage kills him. I don't have 1 damage. I don't have 1 damage. I have Cthulhu, but I think I've already used both of those. Okay, slams that. Let's... Oh my gosh.
Right away.
I should have waited. Ah, that feels bad. How many cards do we still have left? There's gotta be some good cards in here, right? There's gotta be some good cards in here. Oh my gosh, we threw it. We absolutely threw it. What do we have left? We've got some Cthulhu minions. That's not awful. He still has a brawl, though. Perhaps we have an Excavated Evil? We definitely don't want to see that. We have a Sylvanas. And... Twin Emperor? Do we have Twin Emperor left? I don't think so. I think he dealt with that. Or was that the last warrior? Every game is blurring together now. This isn't doing anything now. Oh, that's not the card I want to see.
Right away.
Okay, I guess we threw it. Blame me, game. Blame me. Should have really have waited for that. I mean, if the Flesh Heal showed up later, then we wouldn't have really done a thing, what it would be. Okay, now we've got a curve going. So he needs to have an answer. But he's drawn 4 cards since he has an answer. Well, that's not an answer at least. We can't deal with Golden Monkey though. There's a bash, alright. Oh, we have a second Darklander, don't we? Second Darklander does things. That's another card.
Right away.
Demands another answer, so that's okay. But I think we lost this one. If he didn't deal with the Arcanine though, he would have been dead. So yeah, I don't think we were entirely wrong to risk it, but I don't see us winning from here, that's kind of the problem. Maybe we shouldn't have played the cleric at all, because he can now brawl stuff. Oh, that's good though. What else does he have? Shield Slam's that, alright. 0-1 Goral. That always cracks me up. 0-1 weapon. That's pretty great. Do we even play Sylvanas? I think we do, yeah. Sylvanas kills him in 2 turns, so he kinda has to. He armors up, he goes to 12, we hit him for 6. Oh, we don't... Oh no, he goes to 10. And then he goes to 12 afterwards, and then... He has to deal with this, yeah.
Welcome to the grand tournament.
Ooh, that's ugly. I may actually... I don't know. It's actually curious. He kind of has to hit that into Sylvanas though, so... I guess that's something. We couldn't Excavated Evil here, because that kills the Cleric. And I kinda wanna... Well, I kinda don't wanna draw cards at this point anymore. We could steal the 6-3. I think I prefer hitting face and him... Well, then he can gift something else to us. Is that bad? No, that's fine. That's fine. He can deal with the Sylvanas that way. We still... he has a Brawl, though. We can't play this until the Brawl hits. Okay, I guess we do it this way. We just hit face, and we do nothing. The Dark Vendor has to be played next turn, because he's going to Brawl if we play that. Then again, if he just trades, then he doesn't Brawl, and we're still not good. Maybe we should have forced the Brawl, I guess. I don't know.
Instead of cards.
It's confusing. Stuff like this confuses me.
I feast upon the light.
It was your fault.
I definitely don't want to play the Beckoner, but I don't think our clock is good enough right now. So he brawls, okay. Takes a 50-50. Oh, okay, I guess he won. Well, what's our last card? If our last card is Twin Emperor, but I think I've already used that, didn't I? Yeah, we can't win anymore. We can't deal more than 3 damage a turn.
You have bested.
Oh man, that flash heal. Okay, well, don't play Tomb Priest against a sea of control warriors. Please don't do that to yourself. Anyway, I do hope you did still enjoy this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestion on what deck to play next, or next week, or next month even, any deck you would like to see me play, please leave a comment below. As always, have a great day guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.